Hi, and welcome to my next tier list video where we go over the LCS. Oops, bumped my board. If you missed my video yesterday, I went over the LCK the day before the LEC. The LPL will be a wait because we're still waiting on LNG and RNG to announce their rosters, and because their teams aren't bad, we kind of want to wait to see what they turn out being, right? To kind of tier them, because I think people that are doing their tier lists already, kind of disingenuous. If you missed my video earlier today, I went over my oldest players as well, so that's there. It was a companion video to the youngest players. So, tier list, good, average, bad, omega low, bad for the region. We're going to rank the teams in there. Disclosure, I have filmed this video once already, and, well, we had some issues, so we're going to re-record. So, if it's a little quicker, less rambly, that's why. 100 Thieves, average. They're average to bad. I don't think that they have the potential to be good. Some people want to say, you know, they want to place expectations on this team that, oh, this team has a lot of, actually what it is people put a lot of expectations on what they believe the thoughts of this team are, and thus say that the team's going to stink and not meet expectations. But if you approach it with the thought that this is just a content team that has a couple young players that need to develop in Tenacity and Bucio, things should be okay. Because Doublelift and Bjergsen are not in their prime anymore. I think that is completely obvious. So they're average at best, too bad, depending on how Bucio and Tenacity do. Definitely a team that's just going to be in the middle there in the average category. Keep in mind, these are not like universal across all the regions, these things here. It's just relative to the region how I'm breaking it up. Next, we have Cloud9 and CLG. I have Cloud9 in the good area. So, the only question mark is the mid lane, right? Diplex. Is Diplex going to be able to pull it off? Now, they did get a safety valve in Eminez behind him. Another question mark, though, because Eminez is a player that played in ERLs as well. So, two players that are coming from Europe. Eminez already a Korean import, but, they'll see what happens with him. Eminez apparently has an attitude problem. That's why he has not been given an opportunity in a pro region lately. And he's good enough to do it, so that's a thing. And you have to keep in mind that Cloud9 has 4 of their 5 players returning. Fudge and Blabber are more than solid enough in their roles. Fudge still very young. And then you have the bot lane, Berserker. Last year was his rookie year. Now, hopefully, he takes the next step. Sven pretty much was a rookie at his role in support. He's only played 1 split of support. So, the fact is, he's got a lot to still learn, and hopefully he did that over the off-season here, and Cloud9 has the potential to come back strong. I think that they are the favorite to win spring, and we'll get into that as we go forward. But right now, Cloud9 are in the good category. CLG I have in the bad category. I give them a lot of credit. Peter Dunn has said in multiple interviews that CLG, TL, and EG were the teams that worked the hardest, pretty much to paraphrase. And CLG, it benefited them. That's why they did so well, right? They surprised everybody, went on a run, were competitive in the playoffs, and it was because of hard work and determination. And if they continue to do that, they definitely could bump themselves into the average category again. But on paper, the team is still not very great. I think that cheesing wins with Seraphine played a big part in CLG's success. So CLG are in the bad category easily for me right now. Next, we have Dignitas. Dignitas I have in the average to bad category. So similar to 100 Thieves, I don't think that Dignitas are going to get to the good level. I think that they're 4 of their 5 roles are solid. And people are going to say, really, you have Arma in the solid category? And it's like, I think he's an upper half LCS top laner. Like, we're not talking about the LEC anymore. He's in the LCS. Is he top half? Probably. And in the end, that means Dig has a top half. That means Dig have a top laner, jungler, and mid laner with Santorin and Jensen. So that's a solid veteran presence in the upper three roles on the team. And then in bot lane, you have Spawn, who is meh at best, and Ignar, who historically has had good moments and bad moments, very inconsistent. But if the bot lane can be average, this team will be average. So that's kind of the deal here with Dignitas. I don't think that they're going to be battling for a world slot or anything, which is going to be disappointing because Jensen's been there, more than anybody in terms of consecutive appearances. So, that's the thing. Dignitas, I think, are there at best for sure. Spawn, at his age, should be better than he is if he's going to be at this level, which is no fault of his own. Dignitas are kind of just whatever, and not to mention Dignitas' video yesterday, come on now. Good, EG are good. And this is why I prefaced this video, and actually in the first recording I said it at this point, but I figured it'd be better in the first part of the video on this re-recording. EG remind me a lot of Excel, okay? In that EG have solid players in every role, and we know what they are. There are no question marks with EG outside of, do these pieces that have been big parts on their former teams mesh? Can someday continue to be what he is? I think he will. Inspired's still very talented, one of the best junglers in the world, if not the best jungler in the West outright. Jojo Pune is still growing and getting better. One of the youngest mid laners, my video yesterday, one of the youngest mid laners still in the world in the 4 major regions. Hopefully only going to get better, right, for EG's sake. FBI is solid. I think a lateral move from Danny, but with Danny, you could get better with time, where FBI is what he is. And then Vulcan, good domestically, bad internationally. So EG, like C9, I think are going to be competitive for spring in the end, because there are just less question marks with that team. There's going to be less time for there'll be less time needed for them to mesh together and kind of put out some decent performances. So EG are there. Next, we have Flyquest, who I think is the best team in the West outright on paper. The issue is people's listening skills, their critical thinking skills don't go far enough for me to be able to explain the rest of that, which is Flyquest are the best team in the West on paper, and I don't think that they're going to be very good in spring. Very good being relative to the fact that they are not going to win spring. I don't believe that. I think it's going to take time. You've got a super talented AD carry, maybe the best AD carry in the West in Prince, my LCK MVP in summer. Vikla, I think, is very talented, one of the youngest, just like Jojo Pune, in his role in the world. A KR Rookie of the Year last year. Some people will complain, take away his flowers and say, you know what, it was a poor year for rookies. That's just like copium. He's a good player. Impact, Spica, solid. Support is the question mark with Isla. They have Winsome behind him if they need to play Winsome. So Flyquest, I think 4 out of every 5 roles, very solid to exceptionally good. And then a question mark with Isla. So Flyquest are there. Golden Guardians are in the bad category. So Licorice, Stixay, Hoohee. You can't get much older. That might be that might make Golden Guardians like the oldest team in the world in the 4 major regions, honestly. Well, Heretics are going to definitely have something to say about that, but Golden Guardians are old. So Licorice kind of finished, in my opinion. Stixay, Hoohee, pretty much finished. Now, what's going to help this team? River and Gory. River carried for Dignitas multiple times last year. He is very talented. He can get the job done. Gory, some people consider, may be the best mid laner going into the LCS this split. I don't believe that. I think he's top 3 or 4, but he's going to be good for them. And that'll keep them above these 2 teams and maybe even above CLG. And depending on how Dignitas do, I could see Golden Guardians also beating Dignitas, right? Or 100 Thieves. So Golden Guardians are in this area for me. Hedging my bets, though, on bad in the middle for sure. Because that just feels right? That just kind of makes a lot of sense. Immortals are a mega lol bad. The first time I did this video, I stared at the camera for a second after I put them. Jeez Louise. After I put Immortals on here, I stared at the camera and just shrugged my shoulders a couple times. But instead, I'm just going to tell you that I did that instead of doing that and looking like, completely baffled. Team's not very good. Revenge, meh. Power, almost said Power of Evil. Ablaze Olive, meh. Kenvi did not impress me last year. Will Kenvi be able to take the next step? Maybe. Remains to be seen. But right now, hedging my bets on that one and keeping them down here. Tactical, not very great. And Fleshy, completely unknown. But I do believe that Fleshy was the best LCS player boot camping in Korean solo queue. I think he was he got to Challenger. Not 100% certain. But he's a big unknown. So Immortals are here. Because if your best player is your Turkish imported support, you're staying there. As far as I'm concerned, there's no room for getting better from that one. Next we have TL. I have them here, and some people are going to be like, really, you have them there? They have Summit, they have Pioshik, like, come on. And it's like, okay, we'll work through this together. So Summit, potential to be the best top laner in the region next year, in a month from now. I completely give you that. That's possible. Pioshik, second best jungler in the region. Quite possible. Core JJ, best support in the region. Okay, so 3 out of 5 roles are top 2. Now, in the 2 roles that are arguably the most important in mid and AD carry, they have complete question marks. And that's why they're on average. Because until those players, because I don't watch Academy, until those players showcase a high level of play at the pro level, at the LCS level, they're going to be there. Harry looked very good in Academy. His stats look, because I didn't watch him play in Academy. Harry's stats indicate to me that he has graduated from Academy. He earned a call-up. Yeon, not as much, but Yeon apparently, it's more so a you should watch and see than look and see sort of thing with him. So Yeon and Harry, we'll see what they do. Big question marks, though. And that's why I'm not going to move them in the good category. I think some people are going to do that and just kind of ignore that part. And I feel like it's like you can't ignore things like that. Like, you can say, I think that they'll be good, but like, got to also acknowledge there are question marks still. So that's a thing. And then we have TSM, who are down here. TSM, a lot like Golden Guardians. I think that jungle mid is definitely their strong suit. Solo and top lane is going to be able to do his job. He can play weak side pretty well. At this point in his career, though, he is old. That is no lie. I went over him yesterday. He might be the oldest player in the 4 major regions this year. So, we'll see how he does. Boogie and Maple, though, are the strong part of this team. Boogie, definitely probably, I'm contradicting myself. He is, I would consider him around River's level, to be honest with you. Both players dominating minor regions, River with the PCS, Boogie playing in Latin America, so there is that. And then Maple obviously is good. He's not great anymore or nothing, but he's solid. He's not as good as Gory. So their jungle mid duo just a little bit worse than Golden Guardians. So they're probably above Immortals, but still in the Omega Lull bad category because of bot lane, Neo, and Chime. Instinct should be the AD carry. Instinct should have a job. Free Instinct. The fact that TSM went with Neo instead of Instinct really puzzles my mind. So that's what we got. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell because I do daily, triple, quadruple uploads throughout, the off season going forward, trying to get content done. Like I said in the beginning, the LPL video will come out after we know the LPL rosters. So that's that. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube member so this channel stays alive. $3 a month supports me. It allows me to get paid so I can continue doing these videos. Otherwise, I mean, I can't do these videos forever, right? And $10 a month if you really like my content and you want extra stuff, which includes NFL American football. And then in January, when league starts, I will be doing my predictions for who I think win games, members only. So if that interests you, that's $10 a month. Thank you for watching.